everyone, it's Barbara here. I wanted to welcome you to our second Art Jewelry Boot Camp challenge for this year, and that is going to be texturing on metal. Now for this challenge, we are going to focus on texturing metal by hand. So with that being said, we don't want to see things like the use of a rolling mill, sandblasting, etching, or the use of like craft embossing machines, that kind of stuff. We want you to focus on trying to texture metal by hand in unique and innovative ways with things around your house. So for today, this isn't really a tutorial, so to speak. It's more showing you some things that I've done with some things I found around the house. So I've already antiqued these and oxidized so you can better see the texture. Let me see if I can hold that closer. So this is just a little coin that I textured, copper coin, that I textured with a ball peen hammer. The end of this chasing hammer here, and that's how you get that nice dappled look there. Now, the rest of these are all things that I've just sort of rooted out of the garage and used just sort of household objects. This here, I used just a regular machine screw, and just a plain old grungy household hammer, and hammered it and gave it that sort of, it almost looks like a diamond texture, like that you'd see sort of like an industrial type metal. This here I textured with one of my favorite hammers, and it is just this grungy old beat up hammer that came out of a estate sale, and you can see it's all pitted and has a lot of really cool texture, and I hammered that using the edge. This brass one here I textured using a piece of really hard steel wire that I just sort of bent up into a funky shape, laid it on top, and using just a plain old household hammer, hammered that there. Now this sort of feather shape was a combination of the grungy hammer and a chisel tip. And that, you can see you can add some really fun texture with that. And I'd actually probably like to do more on this one, but I polished it up and stuff to show you today, but I'll actually probably go back and do a little bit more on that later on. This here is a flathead screwdriver, and I just did the same thing, just pounded it in. So that's about it. Now, some other things I want to caution you on while we're here talking. I started out by annealing my metal on the torch to make it nice and soft so it would receive the texture better. So when you start out, go ahead and anneal your piece with your torch, get it nice and glowing red, and anneal it. Now, this is also the opportunity you want to use, I usually like to, when I texture, I use this old bench block. You can see this one's all dented and it's got a lot of, you know, divots and stuff in it. You don't want to use a great, you know, new shiny anvil or bench block, because you're probably going to end up scarring it, and you want to keep that nice for when, you know, when you have some finer applications. Also, if you have nice jewelry hammers, you want to keep those separate from your other hammers when you're working, because you don't want to start off, you know, with this, and you're trying to texture your metal, and then you set this, you know, your crappy hammer down, and then you accidentally pick up this one, and you go whack, and then you are going to mar your nice, shiny, beautiful hammer face, and scratch it. We don't want to do that. So I always like to try and put away my nice hammer when I'm texturing, so I don't accidentally make that mistake, because in the throes of creativity, sometimes you're not thinking and you might pick up the wrong hammer. So that's about it. I'm going to post the details today on the blog, and we will look forward to seeing everything you guys are going to come up with on the next hop, which is going to be April 8th. Alright, see you guys later. Bye!